Ken, this year we lost one of the greatest songwriters of the last 50 years, and I'm talking about Bill Withers.
Yes.
And Bill Withers is unique because he had huge success in the mid 70s, early to mid 70s,
Yep. Blew up.
and then he just went away counting his money,
Oh yeah, my hero.
right?
Yep.
He had the duet,
With
just the two of us.
Grover Washington Jr. Last big hit.
Okay, but then he just disappears, and then he shows up to accept his introduction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Stevie Wonder. Yep.
right?
hmm
And we lost him this year.
Yes.
But what's interesting is there was another hit machine in the '80s who was a Trinidad-born British citizen who had great international success,
Yep.
had number one hits galore. Think about this. The man I'm talking about had 12 top 40 hits here in the States, 7 top 10s, and 3 number ones. Had his first top 40 hit in the 1970s, had a bunch of hits in the 1980s. When his last album in 1993 didn't sell so well, he was gone. It's like he vanished, just like Bill Withers. And I'm talking about Billy Ocean.
Oh yeah, that's right, sir. Mr. Billy Ocean. The great thing, and you hit it on the head. People our age, or even if they're listening to this right now, going, "What? Billy Ocean?" But because it's one of those things. Of those 12 songs, if we start listening, or if they started to play, yeah, you're gonna know them.
At least the chorus. We're going to know the chorus of every single
Yeah,
song.
yeah. It's not like I've never heard this. Oh no, you've heard Billy Ocean.
You've heard Billy Ocean.
Yeah,
But he's not in the public conversation the way like even Phil Collins is nowadays. Or another 80s hit maker like
Hall and Oates.
Hall
for
and
that
Oates,
matter.
Bon Jovi. Like these people have been around, like they've been in the press and the news and the magazines. They're just seen. But Billy Ocean just kind of went away.
Yeah, he was. I'm gonna say just like Bill Withers, he was smart enough to say, you know what? I have a family and now I have money. I'm gonna go raise these kids happily ever after.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he's still married, same wife, kids are grown now.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm like, yeah,
But to me, think about this. So he had, and we've talked about this before with other artists, he had 2 waves. In the 70s, hugely popular in England, okay?
yeah,
Had a crossover hit with the song called Love Really Hurts Without You. Now, that song sounds like a Motown love song. Like, I say love song, like a love song to the Motown sound,
yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. There's no way that he was not influenced by Motown when they wrote that. Yeah, they definitely put all their ducks
Because
in it.
that didn't sound like the Philly soul that was coming out at the time, or
Yeah.
anything that Isaac Hayes was dropping, or the disco sound.
Yeah.
It was a tribute to Motown.
That came straight out of Studio City.
Hey, number 2 in the UK, number 22 in the US. Love Really Hurts Without You. Okay, so this guy had a first initial waves of success in the 70s, but I didn't know who he was. The first time I ever heard Billy Ocean was when today's song, Caribbean Queen, Caribbean Queen, I don't know. How do you pronounce it?
This song, Caribbean Queen, because that's how it sounds.
No, that's
like
how
when he
it sounds.
says
How do you say it? Like when you're talking to somebody and say, I'd like to take a vacation. I might go to the...
Caribbean.
Thank you. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So he had that first wave of success when 7 or 8 years, no hits. And then all of a sudden he says, oh, this is the 1980s. We have synthesizers. We have drum machines. We have all these little bells and whistles that make the 80s what they are. Oh, I think I can do this.
But even better, though, because being that he's from the 70s, he is an R&B singer. Even though we're in the 21st century now,
You're right.
he is an R&B singer. So he came from a time when Titans made music. By that, musicians played instruments. It was live. And so 7 years goes by, new decade, all these bells and whistles and all these things that you've described that I sometimes have distaste for. Okay, most of the time.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, the great thing about this song, this was a great easing transition for an R&B singer into the 80s because it's still an authentic band. It's still organic. And it's like
It's not an authentic band anymore. It's
Well-
a drum machine.
no, but this song has real instruments.
That's true. Yes, you're right.
So it's a nice transition to what he would become when he fully embraces and drinks the Kool-Aid of the 80s
Well, and,
synth sound.
and let's look, man. We have this song, Caribbean Queen. There'll be sad songs to make you cry. Get out of my dreams. Get into my car. All number ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he has a couple of number 2 hits. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Know that one. Loverboy. Another top 5 hit. Suddenly. Love Zone hit top 10. I mean, this guy was producing hits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I guarantee you, you put in Billy Ocean's greatest hits, you're going to sing most of them.
Yeah. And they will not be a surprise to you. You will hear them. If you're not singing them, you know them.
Now, let's go into this song specifically right here, okay? So, he recorded different versions of this song depending on the location he was going to release it in. So, in Europe, he releases the song European Queen. In Africa, he releases African Queen.
See, that's so gangster right
Yeah,
there.
he said, look, I got fans in Europe that used to know me from the 70s. I'm going to release European Queen. Now, the funny thing is, Caribbean Queen was the big hit in England, but in Germany, it was European Queen that was the big hit.
See, that's awesome. That's like when Beethoven used to ride ahead to the next town to release and perform his symphonies
In his Model T?
on his horse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just to capitalize on his thing and what he had going.
No, man. I mean, and when he wrote these songs in the 80s, he had a couple of collaborators. One was a guy by the name of Keith Diamond. He also helped write Suddenly and Loverboy, as well as this one. So top 10 hits.
Yep.
But another singer, songwriter, producer that helped him out, not with this song, but just with his popularity in the
later.
hits, Robert Mutt Lang.
See? Now, you're looking at me like that when you say that name.
Because I know you know that name.
Oh, absolutely.
What album is he most famous for?
Hysteria.
No.
One I know the most. I know who
Back
is.
in Black.
Ugh.
Yeah. AC/DC's Back in Black.
Hysteria.
Def Leppard's Hysteria. Def Leppard's Pyromania.
Yeah.
He broke Def Leppard in the US.
He made them, basically.
Later on, became the husband of Shania
Shania
Twain,
Twain.
produced a lot of her hits.
Yep.
Okay, but Robert Mutt Lang, and I had a discussion with you earlier, and I disputed you on this. I said, to me, they don't mix. AC/DC. I mean, he's married to Shania Twain, so I get that. You got to keep the wife happy, while you're married. I don't get how the producer of AC/DC and Def Leppard says, "Hey, I'm going to go work with this guy Billy Ocean and produce hits."
And it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, it
Explain
does.
your rationale.
Okay, so yeah, he's a songwriter, but he's a producer. So he sees big pictures. Okay, so he's able to see ahead and beyond. All these artists that you named, they had success on their own. He was able to look at them and say, okay, I like what you've done. We're going to tweak here, here, and here, and we're going to take you from where you are. You got up to 6, and we're going to crank you up to 12. And so that's what a producer is able to do. They're able to see talent that has managed to rise to a level on their own and say, hey, I can come in here and make these tweaks under your engine and get you a higher performance.
And
so,
to be fair with Billy Ocean, he was a songwriter collaborator. He wasn't producing Billy Ocean albums.
True, but to work with them, like I said, producer, and even as a songwriter, producers, they see ahead and they see things in artists and in people that others might not know, or they see the potential and how to tap it.
I think it's a lot simpler than that. I think it's the fact that Billy Ocean is just a great R&B singer.
Yeah,
And
you'd
sometimes
wanna
talent wants to work with talent.
With talent, yeah, and then there's truly that.
I think that's what it is. I think when you listen to Billy Ocean's voice, and look, we say it all the time, distinctive, one of a kind, unique. You know Billy Ocean's voice when you hear it,
Yeah,
okay? Especially in the 80s. You know, every time that new top 10 hit would come out, oh, that sounds like Billy Ocean. Look it up. Sure enough, it's Billy Ocean.
yeah, and he had a voice. I don't want to minimize it as non-offensive, but it was pleasing. You
Right.
know? I mean,
Well, it's a guy from the islands,
yeah,
grown up in Britain, singing R&B.
Yeah. And no, you put all that together, and yes, you're gonna listen. Yeah.
Okay, so now when we talk about the music, so give people a little bit of backstory. Originally, we were going to do another Billy Ocean song. We were going to do "There'll Be Sad Songs to Make You Cry."
Love songs often do.
Right, because that is my favorite Billy Ocean
Oh
song.
no, bar none. But and I'm glad you reevaluated, or as we were listening to it, one, I had not listened to that song as a grown man, but it still
It hurts
moved.
too much, right? It's too painful.
Yeah. Well, I'm a lot more hollow inside now than I was
Yeah, I
then.
got you.
But yeah, other than his voice, which again, with as far as that song goes, you can hand him a Denny's menu and you're gonna listen. But other than his voice, which makes that song,
It's all about Billy Ocean's performance in that song, because the reality is the instrumentation, the lyrics. You could have handed that song off to Peter Cetera or Phil Collins, and they would have had a hit with it. Just it wouldn't have sounded as good,
yeah,
because Billy Ocean's voice carries that song.
yeah, because by this point, he has fully drank the '80s Kool-Aid,
Right.
and so that song is just him singing and a guy at a keyboard with a drum machine.
That's right. Now this song though, it has all the bells and whistles of the '80s, right?
Yes.
But I'm telling you, man, like it's catchy. It has the keyboard melodies throughout, the little fills that kind of keep you hooked,
Yeah.
right? But it also has that hot sax solo, the saxophone solo to start off, and then they go into a full blown sax solo later on in the song.
Yep.
It has the little guitar hooks in between during the verses.
Yeah.
You know, in between the choruses as well, just to kind of fill in the gaps. And you know that guitar hook because you're all burn it down to down. You know, like you're playing it in your head.
Yeah. It's the perfect balance of repetition and change. Repetition and change. And so he takes these hooks, he tells a story, has a chorus that's catchy, along with these hooks, and then bam, that sax solo.
What about that sax solo?
Man, so when you decided to do this song instead of There Be Sad Songs, first thing I said, oh yeah, no, that works because,
That wasn't the first thing you'd say.
well, of course I'm going to razz you, but I did say that'll work because this sax solo, I could sing it right now. I haven't heard this song in 30 plus years, but that sax solo,
Sing it right now. Let's go. Don't say it and don't do it. Just
digga-da, 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 digga-da-da-da. Digga-da, 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 digga-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
that didn't even sound like a
No,
sax.
not
Come
at
on,
all.
man. You're
But that's
killing me.
actually the middle of the solo, and that's the part that always grabbed me.
Yeah. Was
Back
that
in the
sax?
day.
Yeah. Hey, look, I was just amazed that like hearing a song about the Caribbean Queen. But the video is really kind of tame. You know, it's just him at the bar. You know, it wasn't like Duran Duran videos where he's out on location. You know,
True.
it's like, come on, man, you're from Trinidad. Give us some Trinidad scenery and swimsuits. None of that, right? It's just, but it was our introduction to Billy Ocean.
Yep.
It really was.
It was
And-
classy
Right.
for
Yeah, I
at
get
the
it.
time.
And I'm not going to lie, man. I thought he looked old in the 80s. Well, it was because he was old, man. He'd been around for a decade, right? And anyway, look, I don't know if this has been in any movies or in any TV shows since 1985. Like, I could easily see this on, like, Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't know, man. But Billy Ocean is really one of those singers who just kind of disappeared. And his music, even though anyone who grew up in the 80s could sing his songs, his music really hasn't followed in like pop culture. Like, I don't think it's been in any Guardians of the Galaxy films. I don't think it's
Or commercials.
commercials. Like, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch TV that often. But it just doesn't seem like people were trying to follow Billy Ocean. It's like, I had my hits, I had my day in the sun. I'm out. I'm going to go enjoy life with my family and collect them royalty checks.
Yeah. Not a bad thing. And I think that is probably really the case of what happened. And as grown men now, we can appreciate that.
And I was reading on Wikipedia that he did win some awards, for lifetime achievements from like the UK.
Yeah.
Right? But God, man, like I figured this guy had so many hits. Bill Withers had quite a few hits, very respected.
And Bill Withers also had every major auto company that were using his songs
I guess
every
that's true.
year.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. There's just a difference where it's like I tried to bring in that comparison because it's these guys who disappear for decades, but yet one gets lauded, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, commercials, boom, and then this other guy, mega hits in the 80s, number one hits all over the place, disappears.
Now-
Nobody talks about Billy Ocean,
Now,
except me and you.
Yeah, well, in Billy Ocean's defense, no one talks about him here in the States except for you and I. Because we don't know what staying power and appeal he's had in the UK.
Right.
Because it might be the same way as Bill Withers over there, where his music is used in commercials for fish and chips.
Hey,
and
it could be in Germany. They're still playing European Queen on all
Yeah.
the commercials. Africa, man, they're doing African Queen in the commercials. We don't know.
We don't know. We hope so because we love you, Billy.
There you go. And I think we'll wrap it up on that point. Look, if you have any comments on today's show, we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's show, hit the like button. And if you want to hear more shows, please hit subscribe and follow us. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.
Peace.